everyone, it is Jillian here from Connections Early Years Family Center. I am an EarlyON staff here. Today, we're going to be talking about fall changes. So I'm sure if you've gone outside, you've noticed that it feels a little bit different. The temperature is changing, some of the trees are getting a little bit red, it's getting a little more windy than it was the last couple weeks, and that humidity is gone. But with these fall changes also comes a lot of different opportunities for you and your little ones to do some great learning. So today we're going to talk about ways we can get our children interested in seasonal changes and how we can use these as great learning opportunities. So just like a lot of things have stayed the same, it's still sunny out, it's still beautiful, some things are starting to change. September 22nd is officially the first day of fall or autumn. So some things that we want to always keep in mind is that we're going to have different weather, and that means different sorts of clothing that we're going to be wearing outdoors. Something really important that is critical to teach your child is how to dress properly for the weather, and something key to this is the idea of layering. So for layering, you're going to always try and have different types of clothing that you can put on in layers, so you're always prepared, whether it's hot or cold, windy or wet, whatever it is, your child will be ready to play outdoors. So things such as scarves, if it gets a little bit nippy and you want to have something to protect your neck and keep it warm. If it's really cold, you might want some mittens and maybe even a hat. Or today I have my rain jacket and boots, but if it was a little colder, I might also want a nice fleece jacket. All of these things can be layered one on top of the other, so if it's hot, you just take off a layer. If it's cold, you just add one on. And these are really important to make sure that you and your little one are dressed properly for the weather, so no one's getting too cold or too warm to enjoy it. Alright, so now that you and your child are hopefully properly dressed, and do keep in mind if it's sunny, you still have to wear that sunscreen and keep your bottle of water with you, even if it is fall. Hopefully you guys are ready to go for a little bit of a walk in our garden. So here in our good friend's garden, we're starting to notice some of those first changes that come with fall. So one of those that everyone always thinks of first, so you're getting these different types of leaves that are dying on the trees and floating down to the ground, but not very many yet because it is only the beginning. So definitely take a look, walk around, see how many leaves you and your child can collect of different types of trees. We have a maple tree over here, and maybe you guys can try and figure out what this leaf is. Fun little activity. So walk around, collect them, see if you guys can find anything different with your little ones, and you can kind of explore that aspect. But there are lots of other things that you can look for in the garden. So one of them that you want to always start with is asking your child, what do they see? What do they sense? Remember our sensory experiences. So they might stop and they might think, maybe they smell a different smell in the air. It smells crisper, it's not as humid. Maybe they're seeing different things such as our black-eyed Susan. The leaves are falling off and the seeds in the center are starting to fall to the ground as well, which is great because it means we'll have even more flowers next year when these go to seed. They might also notice a difference in the temperature, again, even just when they go to school in the morning or if they're staying at home. It might be really cool in the morning and then hot again in the afternoon and really chilly at night. So always ask them, is it different? How does it change? Do we need to change our layers because the weather has changed? Something else that you might also find is when you walk around, you might see little divots like these ones here. So these are from our squirrel friends who are starting to bury different types of nuts and acorns and all those other things that they need for food over the winter. They're starting to hide them in your garden, and you might notice them in other small animals like younger raccoons and different types of birds. Starting to get ready for the winter because it will affect each of them in the same way it affects us, where it changes your day, it changes your routine. So all of these are things you and your little one might notice in the garden, and it's really important that you continually ask them what they notice to really create that pattern of reflection and critical thought as you're outside in the garden. Something else you might also notice in the fall is we have different types of fall plants that we have blooming here in our good friend's garden, such as our lovely sunflowers that Amy planted earlier this year. So as the fall goes on, they will get bigger and taller, and you'll notice lots of birds coming to eat at those seeds, which is something you'll notice a lot in the fall. Alright, so hopefully you've noticed some changes going on in your garden. Again, even just down the street, you will start to notice these different changes that are beginning to happen and will become more and more apparent as the weeks go by. The last thing I want to end off with is a great way to spend more time outside is to always take a book and go and read outside. So today you see a book called Seasons of Love. I'm not going to read it to you. We do have a lovely story time with Altianka on Thursdays, so please join her if you want to hear a wonderful story. But just find a book, see if you can find one that has to do with fall, and see if you can read to your child about the season changing and just to get them thinking of all these little ideas, and maybe ask them, what did they think of the book and how does that relate to what they did outside today? So all of these are a great way to increase your outside time a little bit by little bit and hopefully get at least 60 minutes, if not more, outside every day. But that's just one more idea, and we will be talking about more ideas as the weeks go by and the seasons continue to change. So please check them out, share with us any ideas or any experiences you have outside, and thank you again for watching.